All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with an insanely awesome Micro AR556. This is a 4-inch Bear Creek Arsenal upper assembly with an M-LOK rail system, and this thing will wake up a neighborhood. It's a noisemaker, it's a flamethrower, and it's a complete novelty and a blast, literally and figuratively, down at the range. Now, before we get too far into the overview and review of this upper assembly, I do want to give a huge shout out to AAC Ammo for sponsoring the ammo for this video. They sent out a ton of 5.56, and we ran a lot through this because it was a blast. Now, I've run well over 5,000 rounds of their 5.56 at this point with no issues whatsoever. It functions great, and all the information will be on the campsite page. Now, if you haven't checked out the campsite page recently, you definitely need to, especially with all the Halloween specials going on right now. I mean, guys, click on it. It's freaking awesome. There's some good stuff going on right now, and I keep it updated on a daily basis. Now, getting back into this upper assembly, I want to start with this is a complete novelty in my opinion, and there is no need or practical application for a 4-inch 5.56. You lose a ton of velocity, you get unburnt powder. You're just not going to be great for any practical applications other than potentially clearing a steering column and just scaring people away with the absolute monstrosity of a fireball that comes out of the end of this, as well as the noise. Now, this is a 4-inch complete upper or complete setup from Bear Creek Arsenal, and they sent this out to the channel at no cost for me to review, and I don't have to send it back for full disclosure. But that's not going to stop me from kind of knocking it on a few points. Now, when I first looked at this, I was really excited to get it as a range toy and a novelty, and that's what I would recommend you grab this for, and no actual practical purposes. But even with that in mind, I expect things to function, and I also, though, expected to have to tune the gas system or tune the buffer system to accommodate such a short barrel and a short gas system. I mean, I just expect that going in, and you should too. But honestly, it worked great right out of the box with a carbine spring and a carbine buffer on an ARP and in a registered SBR lower, so no issues there. Great ejection pattern and very consistent ejection pattern. So honestly, this would be like a killer review, except for the fact that the chamber was insanely dirty, rounds were getting stuck in the chamber, and the extractor was super weak. And the QC at Bear Creek Arsenal lately has been just flat out crap. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. These guys need to step it up. I had a 22 mag rifle sent out to the channel that had a loose barrel upon arrival. Once I tightened it up, it still didn't function or feed. It couldn't get through a single mag. And this was the case with this. When I first got it, it could not get through a single mag. And it was not due to a tuning issue with the buffer system whatsoever. Again, the ejection pattern was great. I could easily tell when the rounds were locking back or if it was oversprung with an H2 buffer and an overpower wolf spring. Again, it's perfectly tuned. It just has an incredibly tarnished and dirty chamber and a really weak extractor spring. So much so you could just pick it up and just kind of flick it around with your finger. Very disappointing. Cleaned out the chamber, polished it out, put a O-ring in the BCG on the extractor itself, one of the enhanced O-rings, and that fixed the issue. So that was just a simple QC problem issue. Now, BCA a while back said they were going to be putting those O-rings in every single BCG no matter what, and it looks like they've stopped doing that, or at least they missed this version. That's just going to cause issues if you have a dirty chamber, and this one did. The other thing about that is, even if you get one with a clean chamber, I'd put that enhanced O-ring in there because that is going to help you out, because the nature of this gun, you're going to have a ton of unburnt powder. So as this round goes off, it doesn't have time to fully burn all of the powder before the round exits the barrel. So when the bolt comes back, the casing comes out, it slings a bunch of unburnt powder all through the action of your gun, and that's not Bear Creek's fault. Well, it is for making a 4-inch, but it's not their fault. They're not doing anything wrong because of that. It's just the fault of the 4-inch barrel. But again, you know what you're getting because I'm telling you what you're getting, and expect a lot of unburned powder. So when you are running this as a range toy, it's best just to keep it a lot cleaner than you normally would a standard AR. And I still love this upper. I'm still glad that I have this upper. On the front, you've got the 4-inch 4150 chromoly barrel, the 1/2x28 threads. It does come with this little flash hider right here. And then I added this right here, but because it's a registered SBR, I can do that. Now, this overall was absolutely fun down at the range. I tried it on a couple of registered SBR lowers, and it functioned great. You could put this on an ARP lower, but you have to remove this if you're going to be doing that. I like it. Actually, I love it. It throws a fireball. It's awesome. It runs good once it was resolved, but BCA needs to absolutely step up their quality control. Again, had a lot of problems lately with that. I had another guy who bought a BCA upper and his gas key came loose on his bolt, had to restake that. So just too many quality issues that I've seen recently to say that I can confidently recommend that you're going to get one that runs good. But with that being said, I like it. If you don't mind kind of like looking over your upper, they're reasonably priced. I feel like they're worth it, but it's going to be one of those things. Are you going to chance the quality control? I'll leave that up to you. But Bear Creek seems to be making an affordable 4-inch noise-making machine that throws a fireball and looks pretty darn mean. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.